Hello folks and welcome to Netcruzer RC. Today I want to talk about drones, specifically the new DJI drones that came out last week. Now I was away on holiday traveling when these were first announced, and since then people have had them for a week and a half or more and been putting them through their paces. Now this is the Mavic 2 that was announced by DJI, and they came out with two versions. They came out with a Pro and a Zoom. And specifically, I want to talk about why everyone seems so excited about the Pro and why I disagree and think that the Zoom is the better model. So let's get into it. First of all, the specs of the two are quite a bit different. And if you look at the Zoom camera model, the effective field of view when it's at its full wide aperture is 83 degrees or 24 millimeters. When you have the fixed field of view of the Pro, it is 77, which is the equivalent of a 35 millimeter. Now, yes, it does have a better variable aperture of f2.8 to f11, and the Zoom has a fixed aperture of f2.8. As well as the Pro has some unique features such as that it can record in D-Log-M at 10-bit color and it supports HDR video. The Zoom does not. But when you get into real-world use of the cameras, there's some things that I find that the Zoom is actually better at. And unless you are a raw professional who likes to do color grading and really wants to be able to get into the color science of their drone footage, I think that the Zoom is the better choice for the average person. So let's take a look at a couple. Here's a great one that I found by Ed Ricker, and here's some footage of his Zoom versus Pro, and we'll just show here the quality difference. I've got this set for 1080p. Here's the effective field of view of the Zoom at full wide, and here's the Pro. Now you see how it's cropped in, as well as it's way more warm. It is a much warmer in the Pro. Now you can fix that in color grading, but in my opinion, for the average person, the Zoom is going to be the one that just gets great usable footage right out of the bat without having to fiddle around with it. So that's a quick example. Here again is the Zoom. Also, notice how sharp it is at the widest angle. And we get to the Pro and it just looks muddy. Like there's something about the Pro footage when I see it, it just looks a little off. It's too warm and it's not quite as sharp. Now we jump over to another video here by, one of the OG YouTubers, Casey Neistat. Here's his Zoom footage, and particularly there's something that you can do with the Zoom camera that I really like, which is to be able to get a dynamic zoom in shot, as well as to make it look like the drone is a lot closer to something than it actually is for a more dynamic and dangerous shot. He mentions that the Zoom allows you to get some shots that you just cannot get otherwise. See, look at this. You would never realistically fly that close to the roller coaster because he zoomed in. It just looks so much better because he zoomed in. That I really like. Now, you could do that in post-production with the Pro, but you would lose quality because you're cropping in. With this, with the Zoom, you're getting a lossless zoom because it has 2 times optical and then 4 times digital. One other thing that's interesting about the Mavic 2 Pro, is that there's been a couple of instances where the camera has already been damaged by the glue coming off. They used glue to hold the motor onto the housing of the rear of the gimbal. I have not seen this occur on the Zoom, but it has happened on the Pro a couple of times now, I believe. And I guess just due to the added weight as well as, first run manufacturing, the gimbal has fallen off. Now, DJI has responded to this by saying that we're sorry, this is a normal process. We've been using this industrial glue. It looked like epoxy to me back since the Phantom 3 days. So they used it in the Phantom 3 as well as the original Mavic Pro. Now, the thing with those two drones is that those cameras were quite a bit differently designed. And when you go back and you look at this new Hasselblad camera, it's like all of the load is on the rear of this magnet, which it just has these 2 little splotches of epoxy that hold it on. I don't think that's going to hold up very well long term. We will see. One other thing to note about the Mavic 2s, both applies to the Zoom and to the Pro, is that precision landing has been removed. So that's interesting. Since the Mavic 2 has so many sensors on it, it has sensors on every side of the thing. Actually, it was over here. You could see the sensors. Here, look, it's got all these sensors, optical flow sensors, vision camera sensors on the bottom, the rear, the top. They're everywhere. Why would they take away precision landing? It's almost like it's a software glitch. Remember, the Mavic 2 was supposed to launch in early August, and they delayed it right until the end of August. So something happened where they were trying to get it fixed before they launched it. So one of the things that didn't make the cut is precision landing. And here's an example of what happens when you try and do precision landing. Now, if you don't know, precision landing is when you take off, you keep it straight, and it's supposed to take a picture of your landing pad of exactly what you took off from, and then it will try and land back in that exact same position.
The camera turns up automatically, filming me, filming the drone, landing in the grass. Hey, we're dirty my camera.
So yeah, there you go. That's a Mavic 2 Pro by Captain Drone. He's a local guy in the Ottawa, Canada area who does a lot of drone videos, and he just demonstrated there that Mavic 2 does not have precision landing. That applies to both the Zoom and the Pro, like I mentioned. So early adopter problems, some manufacturing issues, some software issues, but really when it comes down to it, when I look at the Zoom versus Pro quality, if I was to choose one of these today to buy, I would choose the Zoom. I just think that it produces a better, cleaner picture, you know, irregardless of the specs. Yes, the new Pro has the Hasselblad 1-inch sensor camera that theoretically gives you much more color depth and much more ability to do a depth of field. It's not that great. I mean, yeah, you can maybe get a lot out of it if you know professional camera tricks to get the most out of a high-end camera like that, but out of the box, I think the Zoom produces the better picture. All right, guys, so that's it for this one. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. If you're new around here, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Take care.